Hey, hey, Alex. Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you too. You know, Jamie, way up north where the air gets cold
It's told there's a tale about Christmas that you've all been told, and a
and
real
real
famous
famous
man
cat all dressed up
dressed
in
up
red
in
and
red,
he spends the
and he
whole
spent
year
years
working out
work.
on a sled.
It's the little Saint Nick.
Little Saint Nick,
It's the little Saint Nick.
little Saint Nick.
Will that do for now?
I think so, but by now they probably all turned it off anyway and
Don't get
left.
me going. No, it'll go viral. We'll go viral. We will.
This could be our first big TikTok. I don't know.
Oh my goodness. I'm not on TikTok. I don't know how to do
Me neither.
that.
All right. So, hey, Merry Christmas to you, Jamie, and to all of our fans and watchers as well.
Great,
So,
yeah, equally. Oh, yeah, man. Isn't it great? I've got it here. I'm not gonna, if I take that down, everything will collapse.
oh,
So
you
I
don't have
just,
to take it down. We're good. You have your
yeah,
festive holiday lights up there, so that more
oh,
than
yeah.
equates your holding up the Christmas album. But you know, Jamie, we had such a blast last time talking about those live albums. We had to go back and do another one, so you get an extra present from Jamie and I for this year. Jamie and I are
Yeah.
going to go through Beach Boys Christmas songs, and there's all kinds of different things we could cover, all
Mm,
sorts of different releases
yeah,
there.
absolutely. You've got more than I have. I was looking for Brian's single actually, which I've got somewhere, but it's hidden. If I look for it, everything will collapse.
No, that's all right. We can see your Ultimate Christmas CD and your What I Want for Christmas CD
Yeah.
there too. So that's good. And I don't have the singles that go with this. I just have the album with a couple of the bonus tracks on mine.
Their bonuses are great, actually. One of them, forget which bonus one it is, but it's one. I'm not going to touch it, but there's one of them which is absolutely cracking. I can't remember which song it is on the bonuses, but do you want to start with the first Beach Boys, the Christmas album per se, or oh one,
Yep,
oh cassette, yeah,
yep. Even got the cassette for it. Yeah, that's probably the
wow.
best place to start.
Yeah. Is that an original? So when did that? How old is that cassette? Is that a?
Hmm, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I found it in like a junk box at a thrift store. It does play though. I
It's
don't know
really
how
nice
old
to
this one
see
is.
that. I've never seen that. It's really good to see that. Yeah, great.
So
Super.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure to be honest. I always put it out with my Christmas stuff.
Uh,
Uh, I want to say it's one of the 80s because it has the capital
yeah,
reissue.
would be. It would be. Yeah, it would be 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. But that's super.
that's
Really good. No,
yeah, but
never. Yeah, it was a classic album. Christmas albums, record companies don't like them very much on the whole, but this album was really a smash. Half a side of traditional, half a side of Brian's and Mike's composition. Some with just Brian. Al did his first solo, I think, on
yep, Christmas
one
Day.
Christmas Day.
Yep.
Denny made a muck up on the Old Lang Syne talk over bit where he did a if you happen to listen. I don't know why they didn't redo that actually because they
Uh,
could have quite easily done that read.
I
And there's
almost thought, sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
yeah, no, and of course there is the version without his voiceover, which I think it's better without personally. But then if it done it right, but I don't know why I can never figure out why they didn't retake that.
I don't know either, and that's always been weird to me too, because like you can't really listen to that song in isolation or listen to the
Yeah,
songs out of order because we have to hear Dennis's, we hope it's brought you as much joy and all this kind of stuff. It doesn't feel like something Dennis would say to me either. But
no,
yeah, so we don't have too many outtakes and things like that, but actually Beach Boys Rarities gave us a couple interesting things. One being the first time that Auld Lang Syne with no Dennis voiceover was released here. And
yeah.
also something the group recorded but didn't use. Jamie, do you remember the B-side to Little Saint Nick? It's not on the Christmas album.
I certainly do. The Lord's Prayer.
Awesome. Can't stop
Um,
Jamie. He knows everything.
and it's, well, I wish I'd, but I love what an arrangement, what singing. When you play that, when people say about the Beatles or whatever, I mean, it was different sort of music in a way. No one sang like that in, in,
No.
in, in rock music. They didn't.
No, this would be like something you get on like a record of devotionals or something
Yeah,
that a church or a choir would put out. So to have it as a B-side to a pop single and to do
incredible.
it so beautifully.
That's a lovely. Is that a that's a reissue? Presumably, it must
Yeah,
be.
this is actually the CD single, if I can find where it
Oh, is it?
opened.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was released in the mid 2000s.
That's lovely. That is
So
really nice. Yeah, well, it's lovely to have that.
yeah,
Super.
and it has Lord's Prayer, of course. It has both mixes, if I remember right, of Little Saint Nick. I think one of the tracks is the single one's the album version. But I'm amazed they didn't use the Lord's Prayer for the
Mm,
Christmas album. Indeed,
yeah,
for it to have a wide release on vinyl, we had to wait till the 80s for Beach Boys rarities. So
yeah, it's
interesting
strange.
stuff.
And yeah, and I always sort of tend to skip through the sort of traditional, well-known ones that we've all heard a million times, and listen to the Little Saint Nick's and the Man with All the Toys, and
Yeah.
Tribe's compositions are always what I want to hear, and for sure. And yeah, it's interesting that it's a great album and classic. There's a few classic Christmas albums out there. Phil Spector,
Yeah.
Elvis, I think, and then of course, yes, well,
So this one, this CD has the interview where Brian talks about the Christmas album and how he
yeah,
wanted, a kid side, an adult side. He
yeah,
wanted to work with, was it Dick Reynolds, I
Dick
think, was the
Reynolds,
arranger,
yeah,
wanting to do that kind of thing. I think it's Dick Reynolds, but yeah,
Dick
and
Reynolds,
that was really interesting is to hear him talk about it, and maybe it could be the step for a solo career, things like that. So that was
yeah,
actually really cool to get that perspective.
for sure,
So,
definitely. And Dick Reynolds, actually, Brian worked with him again later on in the 70s.
yeah.
He worked with him on a couple of songs for Adult Child as well. You
So
think, yeah.
while we're on the subject of the 70s, do we want to talk
Mhm.
about some of the later Beach Boys songs? Of course, we all know Merry Christmas from the Beach Boys, which Al Jardine once said when I saw him in concert that it was all set. The package was designed, the track list was finalized, everything. And
Wow.
literally at the last minute, they pulled the plug on it and said, we don't want a Christmas album after all. So that
No.
had to have been really frustrating.
But on that release, are there tracks that still remain in the can? Because it's very short otherwise.
Yeah, there are
There's
some. So we have, of course, Child of Winter will come back to that. That can be our
yeah,
punching bag for today.
okay.
Santa's Got an Airplane, what Winter Symphony, I Saw Santa Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Kona Christmas, Mele Kalikimaka, Bells of Christmas slash Paris, and Morning Christmas. But there are still a couple. I know the original Alone on Christmas Day, that's never been widely released. The Carol medley, the Santa's on His Way, I
Yeah,
think
that's
the
and the kids were singing on that, weren't they? On the
mhm.
Carol Medal.
And there is
So
one track. Oh, I'm sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
no, carry on, please,
So
Alex, go on.
Steve Lewis told me on one of Carney and Wendy's albums, they have an outtake from this Christmas album. I think it was I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. I've never heard it. I need to find that. I keep saying I'm
Okay,
going to do that. I never do it. But we know, of course, Adult Child and Merry Christmas from the Beach Boys and several other ideas ultimately coalesced into MIU. So we get a
yeah.
few of those Christmas songs kind of here.
I
So,
think the Christmas, yeah, and I think going back to the actual Christmas proposed release, there's some classic songs on that.
oh, yeah.
Nevertheless, real classics. So Brian, Winter Symphony was a terrific song,
I like that one a lot. Yeah.
really great, and it's him in solo. He wrote it solo, I believe. He sang it. I'm not sure if there's a verse missing. I've heard from someone who said there's a missing verse to it, but I haven't confirmed that. So there's a very long bit of trumpet playing, and they reckon there was another vocal section that wasn't that we haven't got. But I haven't confirmed that, but that's what I've heard. Quite interesting.
Yeah. And then here's the Ultimate Christmas. Of course, you have the CD behind you. And this also has the Christmas Peggy Sue on it. Christmas Time is Here Again. So that's pretty cool. That wasn't on all of the US CDs. So it's good to have this. Not a huge fan of it, but it's got a nice arrangement and pretty
Mm,
interesting. Something a little
yeah.
different there. So
And
have you ever seen, sorry, Jamie, were you going to speak?
please, Alex.
This is I saw Brian's Christmas show. Here's the set list. just the Christmas songs, though.
Were lucky to go to one, weren't you?
Yep, this is where I got to meet him. If you see the post I made the day he died,
Yeah,
the
that's right.
photos of him and I
Yeah,
together and stuff, and
yeah. Oh,
but
it's
you
fantastic.
probably see a few names there you recognize.
That's really great, man.
And then
That
Blondie Chaplin did Run Run Rudolph, which I don't think the Beach Boys ever covered in any
thing
way,
they
but
did. He sang a few of the tracks, didn't he? Didn't he sing lead on a few? I can't remember.
uh, he
Him
did
on.
Run Run Rudolph. I think he did Oh Holy Night. I think Brian did Oh Holy Night on the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Blondie did it live. And then he and Al split Merry Christmas Baby, which actually goes with my t-shirt today. I wore my Merry Christmas Baby shirt. So
My goodness me, you've got all the stuff, haven't you? I'm afraid I've just got to. I don't know what it is. Merry Christmas stuff. I don't know. But
you can just
what a
call me
brilliant.
the man with all the toys.
Yeah, I will do. So, where did you pick that? That's an actual set list that you got at the
Yep,
off the show. Yeah, great. I
yep,
love
yep.
it.
Some I think it was Darian might have given it to me, or
Did
maybe
he?
Proven Gregory. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Who.
well, you're a special guy, special privilege. I love that.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and when you look on YouTube at the concerts, because obviously he didn't do them over here or over in England, but it's a great set. Played and sang really well, all of them.
And then another set list, since we haven't talked about it yet, we probably should. Of course, Mike Love did his reason for the season. This was a Christmas show. They had it was their symphonic one. They had the full backing orchestra,
I,
cellos, violins, things like that, and holiday vibrations. That's it. And it
oh
sounded
yeah,
amazing. But I
I
noticed some of Mike Love's songs here, like Celestial Celebration, Finally It's Christmas, they didn't really sound good live. I
no.
was surprised how little I liked them there because the album itself I'm kind of divided on. I do have the cool
Oh
reason for
my
the
goodness,
season.
wow, that's lovely, isn't it?
It looks really cool on the turntable there too,
That's
spinning
really
around. But Jamie, are
well,
you familiar with Mike's reason for the season?
only a little. Yeah, I've listened to it. I haven't got it. I haven't got it. Talk me through it.
Well, so we
Was
have, of course, a few covers of
yeah.
traditional songs. Oh, Come All Ye Faithful, Oh Holy Night, Away in a Manger. Do You
Mm,
Hear What I Hear? That's pretty funny because Mike sang that on this thing.
yeah.
When I met Mike one time, it was at a Christmas show. I don't think it was that one. I was gonna ask him about this, but I
Mm.
didn't because Mike Love hates me enough already. I don't need to make it worse.
He might hit
But
you.
he might very well have because I
Why
doubt
does
this is.
why does Mike hate you? I can't believe anyone would hate you, Alex.
I meant he got mad at me once because I wanted to talk about Sue Mahama and he didn't want to. So
Oh,
he holds
all
that
right.
against me. But
Oh,
sometimes, not all the time.
I quite like that song. It's okay.
I do too. Bruce likes it too, but Mike doesn't. He didn't want to talk about it. I don't know. But
Okay.
you could see Michael there looking very happy,
Yeah.
in, trapped
Sh-
with Bobby Goldsboro and Three Dog Night and Paul
Yeah.
Revere and the Raiders, all looking like they'd rather be anywhere else in the world
Somewhere,
than doing
somewhere else. Yeah. You've got a
anywhere
great
else.
collection.
But
You really have. Much better than mine. But yeah, I don't know whether I'd look that out or not really. What do you think? Would you recommend I get it just as for completeness or
I'm not a big fan of the newer ones like Celestial Celebration, Must Be Christmas, but there's one on here I really like, and that's Alone on Christmas Day, because that was
yeah.
him doing something the Beach Boys had done but never released. And the original from the 70s has never been released. So I do like that, and he sounds really good on this too.
Okay.
But
Okay.
other than that, I find this to be pretty skippable. I
Okay.
mean, Hanson's on there too for a song, and I'm not a huge fan of Mike Love's Hanson collaborations, really. Can't quite tell what he's going for with them. And he
Okay.
has Christmas shortening bread on here, Reason for the Season. There's a reason, which was
Yeah.
one that it's catchy on here, but live it didn't sound very good at all. I don't know. I'm divided on it. I do like the cover, and mine is stamped by Mike Love if you bought the backstage ticket. So it does say Love Mike Love. I don't know how well it's going to show up because it's the same color as the background, but
But that's great, man. You've got such a great collection. You really have.
I
And
spend too much money on this stuff.
well, it's easy to do that. And if it's your passion, then we need to have a passion. We do.
Hmm.
And music is a great passion to have. It's I was talking to my friend in England yesterday. I did this long interview, and he's a passionate man and very talented. and it's lovely. It brings people together. He said, "Well, they're a tribe. It brings the tribe together."
I
Very
like
high
it.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. And I was you've met most of the Beach Boys, but I've only met I only met really Brian and well Jeff Foskett wasn't a Beach Boy, was he? And Probin, but you've met virtually everyone, haven't you?
Boy, I'm still trying to figure out how to meet Ricky Fattar. It's driving me crazy. I can't figure it out. So I don't know. Got to work
Yeah.
on that one.
Where is he? He's probably my goodness knows where he is. Is he living in the States? I don't know.
Think so. I think he still tours with Bonnie Raitt. I was gonna try. I've been trying to contact her people, but they either I didn't go through or they didn't get back to me. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. I have to play around with that a little more. Sometimes if you beg enough, they'll give you something just, out of pity. But
Well, they don't realise that how important in the Beach Boys world you are, my friend.
oh, from that important.
Yeah, but from little acorns, mighty oaks grow. If you want a mighty oak, that's how they start. And you've got a great name, and you talk to great people, and brilliant knowledge, brilliant collection.
Talk to that great guy living in Spain that
Yeah, who the
what's
heck's
his
he?
name?
I don't know.
Oh.
You know, many of those Spanish people, they're a bit strange.
Some crazy guy running around in a Santa suit. I forget his name now. That's not important.
Uh, don't worry about him. What have you got there, Alex? Come
All
on.
right. Do you remember this from a couple years ago? This was a digital EP, so just three songs. We got the backing track to Little Saint Nick, the backing track to Merry Christmas Baby, which I like to have, of course, I have the shirt for it,
Yeah,
and the backing track to Frosty the Snowman. And really, outside of this, a couple extra takes, kind of, here and there. Couple things on this too, but we don't have a lot of outtakes, sessions, acapellas, instrumentals, much of anything from Christmas album, which surprises me because it's such a well arranged album.
it
You
really
would
is.
think that there would be a little bit more of that stuff, but that's not the case.
Super professional and very popular. It's always out every year, and Little Saint Nick, you hear it all the time at Christmas. And yeah, we won't talk about Child of Winter yet because we're going to make a punch bag of that or something you said, didn't you? But I love that.
Well, I know we
I
made
love,
fun of it in our last video, so I'll have to make fun of it again today, I guess. But
really, did you not like it? I do. I like it, but still,
it
you know,
depends.
it depends. Yeah, and you still haven't got your Summer in Paradise. Has that been? Have the customs got hold of it and they're keeping it?
I think that some Beach Boys fan working in the post office in New York City saw it and just threw it in the
Yeah.
Hudson River or something. So, but extra special thanks though to Harborside Records who were at least shipped it to me, and I should get it, but
Well done.
they're probably backed up for Christmas to be honest. But they were very easy to do business with, so I'm hoping that I'll get it and I'll be able to give them the review I promised and give all my viewers the review I promised as well. But I gotta wait for it to get to me first. So.
Of course you have. So going back to the 70s album that never happened. I mean, I think MIU actually turned out quite well because if we listen to the fragments of the Christmas album, I think there's only two or three songs really worth, you know, of any particular merit. And I think MIU actually, I'm surprised they didn't put Santa's got an airplane, but Loop de Loop because
Oh.
you know they're playing around. It could have gone on there, I guess, couldn't it? Maybe.
That's
I don't
true.
know.
It could. I never thought of that, but you're right. And then there was let's see, Go and Get That Girl. That
Yeah.
Celebration used that, Mike Love
Oh yes,
Celebration.
yes they did. Yeah.
And Seasons in the Sun, that had been in the vault for a while. That
I
eventually
like
got
that.
released. I
Yeah.
I really like their take of Seasons in the Sun. And
Yeah.
what else?
Not Michael Row the Boat is Shore. That was no, that
That
was that was
was
15
I
bigger
think
ones.
that was considered that was from like the MIU era, so we should be getting that next year, hopefully,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were definitely some odds and ends. But yeah, the only ones I think that made it to MIU, Peggy Sue, Kona Coast, and Bells of Paris. I
That
think
was
are
a
the only
power.
ones that
Yeah.
are direct descendants of the Christmas album. And I like both Kona Coast and Kona Christmas, May Like You Mucka, whichever you want to call it. I really like that song. It's really their last true surf rock song too.
I think it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, for sure.
No, maybe California Calling, but that kind of descends into like tribute nostalgia stuff. So, and as I love Hawaii, it makes sense. I love that song. Of course, Peggy Sue was the most successful single from the MIU album
Yeah. What
directly,
what
I should say.
what chart position did it reach in the US? Do you
I
remember?
want to say around, it wasn't top 40. I'm going to say around 50. Someone can correct me down below if I'm wrong. It did fairly well. And then,
I
of
think.
course, Come Go With Me would be a success in the 80s.
Ah,
It was released much later. And that was a top
right.
20. And that was one of the few things in the early 80s that worked out for them in the US. But, strange to kind of think that it would, no, they didn't do anything with it here. It wasn't until years later that it
Yeah,
actually caught on. So, hmm.
yeah, yeah. And Brian did emerge a bit. He sang quite well on a couple of the songs, didn't he?
Yeah, there's
He
good
wrote them.
stuff on here.
Yeah,
There's a couple that don't quite work for me. I always thought Match Point of Our Love was so wordy and strange, all these tennis metaphors. Maybe if I was a tennis player, I'd get more out of it. That one
yeah.
doesn't quite work for me. And of
Mm,
course, I'm not a fan of Hey Little Tomboy.
no, well, no. I
They're a little,
quite like. Yeah, I sort of like the sort of arrangement, but the content, no.
yeah. And Bells of Paris always struck me as weird because I don't think they quite de-Christmas to that one enough. It still has kind of some like vaguely Christmas sounds to it. And Mike Love sounds kind of confused when he's saying all those French terms. I mean, I can't say anything. My French is awful too, but this is like, yeah.
You're not careful, he'll come round and beat you up. You know,
There
he'll find out where you are. There'll be a knock at the door.
we go. Hey, if I disappear, I disappear, Jamie.
Yeah, well, yeah, just leave me your collection and that'll be fine.
You have to pay the shipping.
Oh no, oh, we've had it then. Talking about Christmas albums as we are, I know we're going off the subject. Do you know about this one? I mean, it's not Beach Boys, but it was the same sort of era.
Four Seasons Greetings. I'm sure I've heard some of those tracks, but I've never listened to the album in full, and I don't have that one. I don't know if on the big Four Seasons collection I have, there might be a couple odds and ends from that. I'll have to look because I don't remember. It's not one I listen to as often as I probably should, but that's very cool. I like the artwork on that too.
It's quite cool, but you know, they're all trads. I think there's one that's not a trad song really. And Frankie, if you like Frankie Valli's falsetto, I think he did some great falsettos. I find it a little bit too much on that Christmas album. After a while, you think, yeah, sort of, it's getting on my nerves.
Well, don't let Frankie hear you say that.
No, uh-oh, he'll come
So
round.
long, Jamie.
Yeah, it's nice meeting. He's in the mafia. Oops.
Oh.
Anyway, what have we got here now, Alex?
Well, let's see. Let's might as well get to it now. Child of Winter. So it came out what I think their only single for 74, and one of the few things they released that year that was new. Endless Summer was taking the US by storm. I don't think that was the case in Europe really. But yeah, so we get this last minute Christmas single, Child of Winter, and it's included on most of the archival sets that have 1970s material, even though it predates Merry Christmas from the Beach Boys and stuff. But to me, Brian doing the Pied Piper voice and the B-side was Susie Cincinnati, which I think is even weirder yet.
That's weird. Yeah, that really doesn't work. They should have put the Lord's Prayer back on or something. But
Something, yeah.
I like Steve Kalinich was involved, wasn't he, on some of it? I think they wrote it together, didn't they? Him and Brian, Steve Kalinich, and yeah, and he wanted to do a children's song. They really wanted to do a Christmas children's song. That's what they wanted to do, and yeah, he did the Grinchy voice, Brian, and played quite a few of the instruments on it. And it was recorded in November of '74 and didn't come out till December the 23rd or something ridiculous.
Yeah, which I don't
I,
know the deal there.
I mean, and I when I was at uni, I was at university then, and I remember, we'd had Holland, then we had the double concert album, and then there was this gap. Everyone's waiting for the new Beach Boys album. One a year, nothing, just Child of Winter, and I didn't even hear about it because it was so late that it just disappeared into a black hole.
Yeah, and I don't have the 45. I doubt many people do, really.
I
I
don't
don't,
know. It's a very scarce item for
yeah.
sure.
So,
What was the record company thinking of? I mean, didn't they? You have a record company, to your label. What were they thinking of?
yeah.
Because it would have made the charts probably. I think myself.
Yeah, with some build up and stuff. But yeah, it's so strange. So you asked who wrote it. Brian, Steve Kalinich, and then something else I forgot to mention. It has, of course, pieces of other Christmas songs in it. You know, Here Comes Santa Claus. So
Right.
Oakley Haldeman and Gene Autry, singing cowboy himself, both get
Okay.
writing credits too. So yeah,
Yeah, okay.
published by Warner Music Corps and Gene Autry's Western Music and Warner Chappell Music,
Okay.
1974. So,
Wow. But
hmm.
yeah, that's a little bit of history. I think I did a video on it a couple of years ago, and I like the song. I really do. And it's a shame they couldn't have put that on the Merry Christmas from the Beach Boys and put that, made a new version of it or something. It would have packed it out a little bit.
Might have
But
been considered at one time because, like, I know that some older tracks were being dug up, like Seasons in the Sun, which was,
sure.
all, what, 7 or 8 years old by the time that Merry
Mm,
Christmas from the Beach Boys was planned. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure about that one. But Child of Winter, just this quirky Christmas song, kind of just fell between the cracks, really.
good.
Not, not much going on there. So I
Yeah.
don't know what the singles would have been if they had done Merry Christmas from the Beach Boys either. I
No,
can't
that's a good question, actually, isn't it?
I can't really think of anything jumping out of me that would be a definite, A-side big money single.
Not at all. No, I think it would have largely sort of again fallen through the cracks a little because it was just, Carl wasn't involved very much, was he? I don't think.
I
Uh,
don't,
and Brian minimally. So it was a sort of Mike and Al, mostly Mike and Al, I
yeah,
guess,
and and
really.
their families apparently too,
Family.
a lot of
Yeah,
that
because
kind of stuff.
they went down to MIU, didn't they? Living there for a couple of months to do
Yep.
the recordings and everything. I don't know, I seen it a bit weird as well, really. I don't know where that is. Where is it? Where is
The
Isles?
Maharishi, yeah, somewhere out there. I've never been there, although I've been all over the Midwest. I've never been to the Institute, Maharishi International University, Fairfield, Iowa, and
Isles.
Brother Studios, Santa Monica, California. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay. Maybe they
I've
just
never
wanted to.
been. I don't know what it looks like. It might be like the Live in London venue, or now it's a really scary place that you
Well,
wouldn't
you
want to
should go
go.
then. You definitely go. Get a flight over there immediately and have a look at. Send me a message. Lots of
Might be
photos.
the last you ever get from me, Jamie. I don't know.
Well, it was nice knowing they got hold of you. That funny sect. Yeah, never mind.
That's If I ever get out that way again, I'll try to at least see it. I can stand at a distance and then do a photo from the hill or something. So
Definitely right, my friend. So what else have
so
you got?
Well,
You've got.
so we talked about, of course, Little Saint Nick backed with the Lord's
Love
Prayer.
it.
When this was reissued a couple years ago on vinyl, it's like a periwinkle blue vinyl. They actually used Auld Lang Syne as the B-side. They replaced it with the Lord's Prayer, which that kind of surprised me. Don't know which version. I don't have that single yet, so I don't know. I always say I'm going to buy it. I never do. What was the other single for Christmas album, Jamie? Do you remember? It's
Man with
about
all the ties. Man with all the
yeah,
toys.
there you go.
Man with all the ties.
The man with all
Oh,
the
uh,
joy.
uh, I love. Is that and that's not an original, is it? Is that
Yeah, this
C?
is also the CD single from
I
the
love
the box
those. I
set
really
there.
do. Yeah. Which box set is that from?
The US Singles Collection Volume 1, and there's only one volume, so.
And it's at US only, not to be found anywhere else in the world.
Mm, that I'm not sure of, because the
No.
UK got the actual vinyl single box set. It's other than the questionable cover art, which doesn't look like Beach Boys cover art, looks like some kind of a electro dance party porn magazine vibe. But other than that, what's that?
I didn't know. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Oh yeah, you have to look up. It's from the 80s. I wish I had one, but I'm not a big fan of the artwork. A lot of girls with big hair and weird
Oh,
outfits and stuff.
uh,
Doesn't match 1960s Beach Boys songs
no,
very well.
like no, it's sort of like yeah, definitely not. Can't think what it reminds me of now, but yeah, I know what you mean. No,
Yeah.
we don't. Yeah. So, but
But
that's nice.
yeah, in the
It's really
US we got these, and then the B side, of course, was Blue Christmas, their cover of Blue Christmas, which I really like. They did a nice job on all those traditional ones, really.
they
You
really
know,
did. Brian
brilliant
sang very
job.
well on that. Yeah, he did. Very
And
nice.
those I don't know if the singles were different elsewhere in the world, but in the US, these were the two. So,
Man with all the toys. Did that chart? Do you know
I
if did it do anything? It's very short, isn't it? It's short and
mm,
it's quite
let's
long.
see. It is a minute 30, according to this. So yeah, it's very, very short. I want to say no,
I can't
but
think. I'll look
there
it up.
could
Something.
be a Christmas chart that it did, because that's even like Little Saint Nick, it doesn't chart year round. It charts on the Christmas hot,
Mm,
whatever, top 100, top 50. So I'm not sure. I have to look that one up to be
mm.
positive. But yeah, it's kind of held with different criteria. Because usually people say, oh, the Beach Boys didn't start falling off the charts until like the mid 60s. You see stuff like Getting Hungry, which was a Mike and Brian single. And then some of their 1968 stuff either didn't chart or charted extremely low, like Bluebirds Over the Mountain and Breakaway and that kind of stuff were not successful in the US. They were very, very minor hits. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look up and see about Man with All the Toys. Or
Yeah.
if you know, comment below. I'm sorry,
I,
Jamie, talked over you.
yeah, yeah. If you could, guys, that'd be really great. Yeah, for sure. But I always put it on every year. It's Christmas time. The Beach Boys always go on. They always do. And yeah, Christmas doesn't feel quite the same if I didn't put it on. So my sister would say, "Oh, you're going to put the Beach Boys on this year?" Yes, we will be. And I used to put Phil Spector on quite a lot as well, the Christmas album. But yeah, it's a great album actually, and it did very well for them, didn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. And I'm glad they did it. Four LPs in 1964,
Yeah,
two studios, a live, and a Christmas album. It's like, man, they were busy.
they were. And how many bands actually did Christmas albums that did anything?
Oh,
Really.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
some of them might have done individual songs or singles or
yeah,
something, but yeah, in terms of a whole album that, again, charted quite well and sold quite well. I
yeah.
don't doubt a lot of teenagers Christmas morning unwrapped this underneath the
Yeah.
tree. So
How wouldn't it have been lovely to have had that? That would have been a great experience, wouldn't it? For sure.
yeah,
Well, I don't know when I first got. I don't know when I first got mine. There it is. I will take it out and have a look because I'm not sure it is an original. I'm sure it is.
hey, nothing fell.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah, there it is. Yeah, nothing fell.
There
It
you
will
go.
do later. Yeah,
Yeah.
great. Look at it. I'll have a look inside. I can't remember. Let's have a look. It is.
I don't think in the US it's not a gatefold, and mine doesn't have the original
Uh,
sleeve. I changed it out, so I
okay.
don't know. You would have an EMI copy, so that's really cool.
Yeah, and it's got the so hasn't got the. It's that's the color of the
Okay, got the kind of the greenish color.
greenish color. Yeah, it smells musty.
Uh-oh.
Haven't actually storage for years. I guess it's looks pretty good actually, but there we are. There it is. My goodness. Yeah, what guys, eh? Aren't we lucky to have this legacy of music left to us?
Absolutely. And Jamie, we got about 3 minutes left, so
Well, I'm going to say something about this quickly then, because oh no, I knew something would fall, but never mind.
that's all
I
right.
love I love this album. I love it.
Oh, does he have the same hype stickers on him too?
Look at that.
And maybe even the same bonus tracks. That's good.
Brian, he was on fire. He was on fire making this. And if you listen to him in the studio, when he was in charge of the guys getting them all singing around the mics and doing the parts, man, he was on fire.
And then he did a lot of live TV appearances on like news shows and stuff, Rockefeller Center and things like that, singing
Yeah,
these songs, and they sounded great live. And when I saw
yeah,
him in 2018, they still sounded great live. He did
wow.
Christmassy, What I Want for Christmas, all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were the arrangements were excellent. The guys sang and played on it. It was so smooth, atmospheric. You got a Christmas feeling, particularly from the traditional ones. But his writing again was exceptional. I
Yeah.
think. There it is.
Mine's
Yeah.
mine still is the leaflet if you want a Brian Wilson ringtone. Uh,
Wow. Really?
$2.49 for your musical ringtone. Get little Saint Nick there.
How about that, Alex? You have got a collection and a half. You really have. I
Too
love.
much.
Oh yeah. Well, I love. And yeah. So this will go on for sure. I love it. And the bonus tracks. Bonus tracks. They should have all been part of the straight album, really. Can you get a non-bonus track version then? I mean,
I would assume so. That's the trickiest thing about collecting Brian's albums is that there's so many
yeah,
different bonus tracks and digital ones and ones by
yeah,
country and this and that. So
sure.
yeah. So I'm sure somewhere out there there's one with less songs. There's probably one out there with more songs. So
Well, I'll be searching for that one for sure. And so next year should be interesting with the things that are coming out. We hope all
yep,
sorts.
hopefully. So and I'd like
Yeah,
to do a video with you next year once we get some of those new releases and
No,
have brand new things to talk about, that kind of thing. I know
won't we?
Steve Lewis and I are talking too about doing some
No.
videos. So
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. Well, we've got the country album as well. We think, we
yep,
hope,
hopefully. And of course,
hopefully.
the box set, the Unplugged project, and hopefully
Yeah,
some
well,
cool archival stuff. So,
fantastic. That's great. Yeah, I may not search that one out, but it looks great. It looks good to see it over from you. Nice artwork. Very
yeah,
nice.
it has good moments. It's not a
No,
not a waste or anything like that.
no.
But
Okay, I might
all
look at.
right. Well, Jamie, to you and to all of our watchers, have a very Merry Christmas and a very
Very much.
happy 2026.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that totally. And good health to your family as well and your dad. Look after him over Christmas.
I can do that. So, and then of
Fantastic.
course, Jamie, same here, and all our viewers, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Jamie and I. And
Yeah.
go out there and catch a ride on the Little Saint Nick.
Yeah, get on that sleigh and go, Granny, go, or whatever they did. Or was that Jan
Yeah,
and Dean? Never mind.
something like that. Not
Have a
important.
great time, my friend. Great talking to you.
Great talking to you too, Jamie. Very Merry Christmas. See everybody later.
Yeah, happy Christmas, guys. Bye. Bye.